Toronto Maple Leafs head coach Craig Berube called out his team after losing 6-3 to the Oilers Saturday, their third loss of the last 4 games. Monday, Berube was asked specifically about the play of Auston Matthews.
It's not at the level that he wants it at, or us. And, it's not just about scoring goals, it's just the whole game in general, I think. But I do believe, and I know he believes it's going to get better here. And it's not just him. I think it's, our team in general. I thought we, like him, was trending in the right direction on the road there on that road trip. And since we've been home, I think it's dropped a little bit, our game.
For myself personally, it's just next game, doing whatever I can to help the team win. That's the most important thing for us in this room. You got to kind of put your individual stuff to the side and that kind of pride aside and do whatever is necessary to obviously help the team win. Of course, you want to produce, you want to score and do all that stuff, but I think the little things leak through the locker room just as much as the big things do.
We have a pair of games involving Canadian hockey teams on TSN Tuesday. TSN, the home of the National Hockey League. The first game, the Leafs hosting the Blackhawks, 7 p.m. Eastern on TSN 4. Then the Habs hosting the Flyers at 7 p.m. Eastern on TSN 2. Regional restrictions apply. That leads us to Harvey's Hot Takes with Bryan Hayes, the host of Overdrive on TSN Radio. So, not only is Auston Matthews not posting the numbers he wants to, the Leafs aren't having the season they want to, the team is struggling. If this continues, Bryan Hayes, how do you think that Auston Matthews will handle the scrutiny?
Well, honestly, we've never seen him in this position before. So it's very difficult to predict, Jay, because we've seen it in the playoffs before, right? We've seen scrutiny that he's had to deal with in the playoffs many times in his 9-year career. But those were such acute moments. It's a game 7, dust settles for a day, locker clean out of town. This is a completely different situation for Auston Matthews because he has gone to the playoffs every single year of his career. He's never had a down season collectively as a team. He's never been in a dark place in December like they are right now. McDavid's done it. McKinnon's done it. Sid's done it. Ovechkin's done it. Every other superstar in the league has been in this spot. Matthews never has. And he's not 19 or 20. That's what makes this unique. He is the leader of this team. He's in year 10. He's the captain. He's the highest paid guy in the league, or on his team. He's one of the highest paid guys in the league. He's the guy that the whole room is going to gravitate to and say, you better show us the way. So I don't know what it's going to look like, Jay, but I could tell you what it better look like. A lot better than what it's been all season, and a lot better than what it was last year, because he's simply not playing well enough. And I don't know if it's that he's injured. I don't know if it's that Marner's not here. I don't know if it's that Berube's got a system that just doesn't jive with him. Ultimately, it's irrelevant. He's the highest paid player on the team. He's the captain. He's still in his prime, right? He's in his late 20s, not his late 30s. He's got to be way better because far too often recently, he is blended into games to the point where the opposition is going to respect him because of who he is and what he's done. I'm not sure they fear him. I'm not sure they're scared of shutting him down because he just doesn't bring that type of oomph to the game night in, night out. So he's got to figure this out. And I look back at what happened on Saturday night, and Craig Berube obviously called him out a little bit today and said he's got to be better, and he knows that. And Craig Berube said after the game on Saturday, he challenged his leadership group. First and foremost, that's Auston Matthews. Matthews didn't even speak with the media after the game on Saturday night. So things are going to have to change. Things are uncomfortable for the first time in the regular season in his pro career. So he's got to find a way to figure this out. He's got to find a way to lead by example on the ice and off the ice. You got to be accountable. You got to go out there and do it right. Yes, goal scoring is not everything, Jay, and he's not wrong in that. Berube is not wrong in that. He's got to be better in every area of the game. But really what makes him Auston Matthews, what makes him an all-time great goal scorer, is the fact that he can break games open. 5-on-5 on the power play. So it's going to start, in my opinion, with the goal scoring. That's how he's going to start feeling better about his game. That's how it's going to permeate through the rest of the group. That's how he's going to put his team on his back and find a way to win games. Be defensively sound, win draws, be a leader, be a guy you can look up to on and off the ice. But we're talking about Auston Matthews here. He's got to score goals. If he doesn't, and if they keep losing, again, this is uncharted territory because there is not a flight out of town in 2 or 3 days. They have 50-plus games to go. It's getting loud around him. It's getting loud and ornery in the fan base. It's only going to get worse if it keeps going south.
Quinn Hughes, of course, traded to the Minnesota Wild this past Friday, made his Minnesota Wild debut on Sunday. And what everyone's talking about, Bryan, is the things that Quinn Hughes had to say after he made his Wild debut in his post-game press conference. Let's take a listen.
And then obviously I got a lot of time for Billy for, quote unquote, sacking up and making the deal like he did, and just, how he valued me. And, there are other teams that probably could have thrown in, certain packages like that too, but at the end of the day, they didn't want to do that, or they didn't want to trade 2 or 3 assets from their team like Billy did. And so I'll remember that, and that means a lot to me.
And Hughes went on to say he is very open to the idea of extending with the Wild, which is pretty incredible to think about, that Billy Guerin may lock up the second best defenseman on the planet long term here. So, Bryan, my question for you is, why didn't, he said it, Billy Guerin stepped up, he sacked up, or whatever he said, and put those players on the table. Why do you think other GMs failed to do so?
I think it's a naturally conservative league. It always has been. It's always a league that has GMs and has executives that are afraid to make the mistake, that fall in love with their own guys. And I think it's ridiculous. I love that Bill Guerin did this, and I'll believe it when I see it, that Quinn Hughes signs long-term, right? He's saying all the right things, and he loves Bill Guerin, and of course he is, and of course he will, likely for the next year and a half. I'll believe it when I see it that he signs long-term. I hope that he does, though, because I hope that this could be a shift in the game where it's like you get an opportunity at a guy like Quinn Hughes. You said it, only Cale Makar is better than him. He's a top 10 player in the world, and he has been for years. He's got this year and next on his contract at a very, very reasonable price. One of the most equitable contracts in the league. It's a great team-friendly contract. And Bill Guerin's the only guy that, quote-unquote, sacked up to go get him. I mean, it's crazy. And I think there's going to be regret, and there should be regret. I don't know if he's talking about Jersey. Wouldn't shock me. Maybe he's talking about the Red Wings. Wouldn't shock me. But those shouldn't be the only 2 teams. I could list off 7, 8, 9 teams who are in a window right now in the next 2 years who feel like they could be really good or possibly a cup contender team who should have dumped pieces in to go get this guy. It's such a conservative league. It's a conservative mentality. Everyone's so afraid of making a mistake. Everyone loves their prospects and their draft picks. Quinn Hughes is a superstar. He is a game changer. He's played 1 game with Minnesota. You should have seen it. If you didn't watch it, it was quite something. The guy is an absolute machine. Talk to Canuck fans about this. So I love that Bill Guerin did it. I hope they win. I hope they knock out Colorado. I hope they knock out Dallas, and I hope he stays long term. I love when you see a market like this and a GM like this step up, but I have no idea why other teams didn't do it. If this was the price, and it was a steep one, but it's not a crazy one. Bill Guerin didn't throw away his whole organization to go get him. He gave up prospects and a pick. No one else can match that. It's crazy to me. And if I'm an owner in the league, in Jersey, in Detroit, and other spots, I'm calling my GM today and saying, get in my office and explain to me how you didn't make a deal that was equal to this, or you weren't willing to throw in that 1 extra pick or that 1 extra piece. Because when we're talking business, the jerseys are going to fly, the seats are going to be sold, the market's going to be a buzz, and on the ice, this guy is changing the whole landscape of your team. He's that good. He changes everything. I don't understand it. Credit to Bill Guerin, credit to the Wild. Anyone else that wouldn't put that extra chip in the middle, you got to figure it out, man, because you missed out on a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity getting a guy like Quinn Hughes.
Bryan, in case our viewers didn't know, that helmet over your right shoulder indicates that you are a longtime diehard fan of the Green Bay Packers. And this is the bad news. Micah Parsons officially out for the season with a torn ACL. He suffered the injury in Green Bay's loss to Denver on Sunday. The 26-year-old defensive end traded from Dallas to Green Bay earlier in the season. His recovery is expected to take at least 9 months. Christian Watson did not sustain a long-term injury after leaving that same game with a chest injury. The wide receiver traveled back to Green Bay with the team following an evaluation at a Denver hospital. His status for Saturday's game against the Bears will be determined later this week. Not to mention the fact that Green Bay lost to the Denver Broncos and dropped to 7th in the NFC seeding for the postseason. Bryan, if you're a Packers fan, is it full-blown panic time for your team?
Yes, it is full-blown panic time. Outside of Jordan Love, this is the worst injury you could get, right? Like, this was it. Parsons was playing at such an elite level, too. He was so disruptive off every single snap. And he's the biggest acquisition since Reggie White. You know, that's what everyone was hoping for. If you're a Packer fan, you're thinking, okay, Reggie showed up in the 90s. Brett Favre was cooking. That team was ready to pounce. Same thing with Parsons and Love and LaFleur, et cetera. And this team looked like it was ready to pounce. And I'm fearful their season went up in smoke in Denver. It came to an end in Denver. And I still think they'll make the playoffs. They could catch the Bears and still win the NFC North, although it's going to be much more difficult to do that now. But Watson, we got to see. He's injured all the time. But that offense, the pressure's on them now. Right, because Parsons, as we know, isn't coming back. I don't know what he's going to look like when he returns. I mean, it's a big, big fear you've got to have within the organization. What's he going to be when he moves forward? Because he's so explosive. And you suffer an ACL injury like that, anything can happen in terms of the return. But all the focus is now going to be on defensively, just stay above water. And Jordan Love has got to ball out of his mind. I mean, Jordan Love has got to be great. In order for that to happen, I think Christian Watson's got to stay healthy. So we'll see what happens with him this weekend. But it's crushing. It's absolutely crushing. It's the worst injury you could possibly have short of Jordan Love going down. It changes everything. The NFC's loaded. If they got to start on the road, I don't see how they're going to win. It's just, it's incredibly deflating, Jay. I can't sugarcoat it, man. I wish I could. Ask me in a couple weeks. Maybe I'm going to twist out of this and come up with some crazy alternative motive as to why this will be inspiring and everything's going to work out. But right now, I'm down in the dumps like every other Packer fan, and I just cannot envision a Super Bowl chase like I was envisioning, I'd say, at halftime on Sunday in Denver.
Yeah, I think you echo the sentiments of all Packers fans. But as you also said, still a chance they could catch the Bears. They got to win Saturday night when the Packers and Bears play once again. Looking forward to that one. Bryan Hayes, always great to have you on. This has been Harvey's Hot Takes.
Hot Takes is presented by Harvey's. Things are heating up with Harvey's Buffalo Chicken lineup, including the Buffalo Chicken Sandwich, wrap, nuggets, or poutine for a whole lot of spicy, saucy flavor. Harvey's, it's a beautiful thing.